As someone who is multicultural myself, with my mom being Peruvian Japanese and my dad being Italian, I have the privilege of getting to experience firsthand the similarities across cultures. To see what I mean, let's take a look at something simple like greetings. Italians have the typical two-cheek kiss, where you should see any Italian get together because whether it's a funeral or a wedding or just Sunday night dinner, an entire greeting line forms where you just go down the line greeting every single relative there with a cheek kiss, whether you know them or not. On the other hand, bowing is a crucial part of the Japanese culture. So much so, there are actually 3 different types of bows, where the duration and depth of the bow hide its own important meaning. The deepest bow, the sakere, is reserved for the utmost respect and is to express deep gratitude or an apology, being a 45 to 90 degree bow. And I don't know about you, but as someone who is very much not flexible, a 90 degree bow feels targeted. But on the outside, these greetings may seem simple or even silly. The Italian greeting line may seem unnecessary, and a 90 degree bow sounds impossible. But these greetings show us the importance of community and are their own unique demonstrations of respect. For Italians, this greeting isn't just optional, it's mandatory for your family. It's not about saying hello, but about honoring that family. It's a sign of love. For the Japanese people, bowing in the simplest form is a sign of respect. Bows are given and received in honor. We see how cultures take something like greetings and turn them into traditions or rituals, upholding these important values of community and respect. And I'm not trying to undermine our cultural differences because I think it's so important to embrace them. But I also think it's essential to find the commonality amongst it all. If across cultures we share the same importance of an idea or tradition, each done in their own ways, but upholding the same key value, that has to tell us more about what it means to be human. And one thing that I know humans love to do is eat. Think about it. We eat tubs of ice cream when we're sad, we eat tubs of ice cream when we're happy, and we eat tubs of ice cream just because. But really, food has this weird way of uniting us in ways that words or actions can sometimes fail to do. The great chef James Beard once said, "Food is our common ground, a universal experience." Great food and the comfort of a meal is something that transcends language, culture, and race, and is universal. That is why each culture shares its own interpretation and importance of food. In the Jewish culture, for example, the Jewish people celebrate Shabbat, their holy day of rest, where one of the main practices is to observe the Shabbat dinner. Rich in symbolism and rooted deep in religious tradition, the Shabbat dinner, above everything, is a meal shared with others. It's a celebration of connection and community. It's a time where you get to slow down and just enjoy each other's company, something we often forget to do. Meanwhile, in many Middle Eastern cultures, a sofra is often featured in meals during special occasions. It's essentially a cloth or mat that's placed on the floor, marking the area for people to sit to come and share in a meal together. This environment of closeness is at the center of the meal. And in many Hispanic cultures, the tradition of the Sobremesa is where you linger at a table after you've finished eating solely for the purpose of communicating with each other. There is absolutely no rush to leave. Food becomes more than just something we eat. We see how cultures show an appreciation and an importance of togetherness, connection, and community through food. Sharing a meal with one another is one of the great joys of humanity and is something we all do because humans are social creatures. We're meant to be with each other. But more importantly, we're meant to care for each other. The Ubuntu philosophy in many South African cultures is the idea that one's sense of self is shaped by the relationship with others. In fact, Ubuntu translates to, "I am because we are." It shifts the focus from self to others and prioritizes our bonds with each other rather than just ourselves. It encourages empathy, trust, and reconciliation, and shows that we are more than just ourselves. We are who we are together. In addition, the Korean culture features the concept of Jeong, where at its center, it's all about kindness, love, and connection. Jeong is the emotional bond or attachment we share with each other through shared experiences and small actions. It encourages acts of kindness and love and is not only reserved for the closeness of our family or friends, but extended to everyone, stressing the importance of kindness and connecting with others. You see, we often use culture as a label, a way to identify ourselves, but in turn, separate ourselves. Although culture is so important to who we are as a person and to our individuality, we often tend to isolate ourselves to our differences. But as we've learned here today, we are far more alike than we are different. Our cultures show us that. No matter how far apart we all come from, no matter what language is spoken in your culture, each culture understands that the same things are deemed important because they make up who we are. They make up that human experience. So I invite you to engage in the Sobremesa and communicate with each other. Cherish moments of reconciliation and reconnection with community and God as through the Shabbat. Be friendly and greet others with respect, perhaps with a bow or with a cheek kiss. But above all, care for one another, like with Ubuntu and Jeong. Because perhaps the most human thing of all, the thing that lies underneath all these cultures and traditions, is love, and the love that we share with each other. Thank you.